and Richter are against Sabrina and Victoria. There's Joyce Grable with the hammerlock on Princess Victoria. Victoria tries to come to her feet, but Grable forces her down. At this point in the best-of-3 falls match, each team has won a stanza, so it's even-steven going into the final and deciding fall. Victoria trying to come up. Special referee Pat O'Connor keeping an eye on the proceedings. Victoria reaches out to try and get a tag from Sabrina, but as you can see, she's a little bit too far away to make that tag. It's Joyce Grable in command. Wendi Richter on the apron urging her partner on. Victoria tries to get to Sabrina, but Grable pulls the hair and yanks Victoria back down to the mat. Joyce Grable in command. You know, while we've had a lot of talk about these two girls tag team matches in the area, there's also been a lot of talk about the masked Superfly. A lot of people, of course, recall that we mentioned before, and that it's always been a tradition in St. Louis that a masked wrestler take off his mask when pinned or forced to submit. Of course, when Superfly was pinned recently by Rufus R. Jones, he refused to take the mask off, as you watched Richter almost come up with a pin on Princess Victoria. Victoria again trying to get over to Sabrina. What happened was Superfly left the ring immediately after he was pinned by Rufus R. Jones. We thought perhaps there had been a change in the situation here, but apparently not, because Bob Geigel, president of the St. Louis Wrestling Club, was very upset at what Superfly did. And we should point out that underneath the mask of the Superfly was Ray Candy. Candy had several matches here in the late 1970s, and if he comes back to St. Louis, he will have to do so without his mask. That should answer many of the questions that have come in by telephone and by letter to the St. Louis Wrestling Club. Here it's Wendi Richter in command, pulling back with a type of surfboard hold, actually wrapping both arms around the front of the body, around the neck, a very punishing hold, and you can see where Wendi Richter's knee is right in the back of Princess Victoria. A very difficult hold to move from, and of course the first thing to escape is to get to the feet. Richter, though, sees Victoria coming up, pounds on her back with a forearm smash, grabs her by the ponytail, and yanks her over with the hair. Again, using the hair to deliver a flying mare to Princess Victoria is Wendi Richter, but that time Victoria managed to get to her feet, throws a drop kick, but Richter was in tight and the drop kick was ineffective. Grable adding her 2 cents worth from outside the ring. Victoria whipped to the ropes. Richter misses with an elbow. Drop kick by Princess Victoria. Richter goes down. Remember, it's one fall apiece. The ladies' World Tag Team title up for grabs. Richter and Grable at this point the champions. Victoria with a tomahawk chop to the throat of Wendi Richter, a big, tough, lean girl. Tag is made. Here comes Sabrina. Richter trying to get back in her corner to get to Joyce Grable. Can't get there, however. And catapulted across the ring is Wendi Richter by Sabrina. Richter in trouble here. Sabrina once more locks the legs of Wendi Richter, catapults up, and here comes Grable to try to come to the rescue. Instead, she's flattened by her own flying partner. And Richter and Grable both roll outside the ring. Sabrina trying to get at the two as Pat O'Connor makes the count outside the ring, while Grable and Richter try to regroup. Just when it seemed as though the momentum was going their way, Richter and Grable run into trouble, and pretty soon we see they're arguing outside the ring. Richter and Grable, who have held the Ladies' World Tag Team title for well over a year, trying to repair their partnership. Richter very cautious as she comes into the ring, and she suckers Sabrina to her, catches her with a shoulder right in the stomach, a forearm smash to the back. Tag is made to Joyce Grable. Grable into the ring. A forearm smash drops Sabrina. The champions getting it in gear now, starting to roll again. Sabrina forced back to the ropes, lifted into the air for an airplane spin. Joyce Grable with the airplane spin on Sabrina. But watch what happens now. Watch Sabrina as Grable tries to dump her. Sabrina hangs on with a rolling cradle, grabs the leg, and there is the count of 3. And there are a new pair of ladies tag team champions, Princess Victoria and Sabrina. That is how they won it, and they celebrate in the ring to a standing ovation in Kansas City. Sabrina and Victoria with a big upset over Grable and Richter. Pat O'Connor with the tag team belts, getting ready to hand them to the new champions. At least at that time, they were the new Ladies World Tag Team Champions. But naturally, there had to be a rematch. And you'll recall that in between that period, before this second match in Kansas City, the same duos met in St. Louis, and Sabrina and Victoria did successfully defend their tag team laurels. So at this point, Sabrina and Victoria had recorded 2 consecutive victories over Richter and Grable. But here we are in the third fall of the rematch in Kansas City, And you can see that Grable and Richter are particularly rough this night. They want the title back. Grable with the hammerlock on Victoria. Pat O'Connor, once again, the third man in the ring, trying to keep some order between these four Wildcats, and Wildcats is definitely the right description. These four ladies can go at it hot and heavy, as rough as any four men, that's for sure. Grable grabs the leg of Victoria, dumps her, pulls back on that leg, trying to wear down Princess Victoria. Grable, who was outsmarted in the deciding fall when the title changed hands, as Sabrina pulled off a brilliant move after Grable's airplane spin. Richter and Grable both with leg snaps, trying to damage the hamstring muscles in both legs of Princess Victoria. Richter with a leg drop into the knee of Victoria. Richter twisting the ankle, twisting it, turning it, trying to slow down Victoria, trying to incapacitate one member of what was then the tag team championship combination, Sabrina and Princess Victoria. Richter might even have been biting Princess Victoria at that point. O'Connor trying to keep a close eye on the proceedings. Richter goes right for the throat, strangling Victoria, but only for a second, because Victoria locks on a body scissors. That didn't last long either, but then Victoria regains the body scissors on Wendi Richter. Richter, only 21 years old, throws a punch to the midsection. A lot of people think Wendi Richter has what it takes to someday possibly replace, to defeat the fabulous Moolah as the ladies' world champion. Of course, there are those who think Princess Victoria has that type of skill. The same could be said for Sabrina and also the more seasoned Joyce Grable. Grable applauding her partner, Wendi Richter. O'Connor shoves Richter off the throat of Princess Victoria. Richter has a terrible temper, and many people in wrestling credit Joyce Grable for helping to control Wendi Richter to help her realize her potential. Richter fires Victoria over to Joyce Grable, who lands a forearm smash. Richter covers her opponent, but cannot keep the shoulders down. The title still resides with Sabrina and Victoria, but Richter and Grable are certainly on the hunt. Victoria trapped in the corner by the two, Grable and Richter. Double teaming again, a knee into the midsection of Victoria by Wendi Richter. Tag made to Joyce Grable. Grable steps through the ropes, throws a punch to the stomach of Victoria, and Victoria has really taken a pounding in this third fall as she and Sabrina try to defend the ladies' tag title one more time. Victoria with a shot to the stomach of Joyce Grable, then a tomahawk chop knocks Grable right into the ropes. Grable hurled across the ring, a second tomahawk chop floors Joyce Grable, and Victoria begins to get it rolling here. Richter incensed, seeing their advantage slipping away. Down goes Joyce Grable again. Victoria invites her to come up for some more of the battle. Grable yanked up by Victoria, whipped across the ropes. Oh, Grable tried to throw a kick, missed as Victoria stepped aside. Grable covered, but then manages to shove off Princess Victoria. Victoria lifts Grable, body slam. Victoria hits the ropes. Oh, a giant splash, misses. Here comes Richter. She sees Victoria down, tries a giant splash on Victoria, and that misses. Sabrina tries to take advantage of Richter being down. She misses. Somebody drained the pool, as our good friend Mickey Garagiola would say. Everybody missing giant splashes, and everybody a bit groggy at this point. Grable hits the ropes. So does Victoria. Both girls flying. Oh, and they collide head-on. Down goes Grable. Down goes Victoria. O'Connor counting on both men. Here come the other partners. O'Connor trying to restore some order, and right there, the champions have Grable covered. She'd be down for at least 2, 3, 4, 5. O'Connor didn't see it. Pat O'Connor didn't see it as he tried to restore order, that the champions had the challengers and former champions pin. O'Connor again has his back turned as Richter floors Grable with a dropkick, putting Grable down on top of Princess Victoria. There's the count of 2 and the count of 3. And that is how the ladies' world tag team title went back to Wendi Richter and Joyce Grable. Rather controversial circumstances, and we'll be back with more action on Wrestling at the Chase right after.